can shock you. Obesity is the leading risk factor for issues for hypertension and diabetes, only rivaled by one thing: smoking.
Undernutrition is it also a thing you might find in adults? Like, the way we have a culture of, at this time I eat
Yes.
mandazi, chapati, whatever it is. So is it about quantity or about the actual nutrient, the essential nutrients?
Vegetables are good, but you cook them, you overcook them, all right? Carries all the nutrients and all the remaining is fodder.
Welcome to the MedSquad Podcast, on a continent that is full of contrasts. Plenty of contrasts. You can have someone with a big belly standing next to someone who's really skinny, and they are from the exact same family. How do these coexist? We're going to be talking about everything from potbellies to starvation, but more specifically, we're talking about nutrition disorders and what they are. And I have the privilege of having me a specialist, family physician, Dr. Ayodi, very articulate gentleman, by the way. Yes. And the man with the beard.
Yep, as always.
Karibu.
Asante.
Now, we're talking about one of the cultures we have is celebrating. People who come from the village, they go to the city to work. And how do you prove you've actually done some work if you don't have something to show? The stomach, midriff, a sign of wealth. We've seen it in politicians. We've seen it in all sorts of other people. But then at the same time, the other extreme is the undernourishment. How is it possible for these two to coexist? That we have the belly and the undernourishment in the same space? How would they? Yeah.
Yep. I think to start with, I think the topic you have today is a topic that speaks to everyone. If today we start speaking here about probably diabetes, not speak to everyone, but all of us had some good breakfast. Some people have had lunch. Some people have had dinner. Some people have had maybe expensive food. Others have just had something to make our stomachs cool.
Yes.
Okay. But all of us in a given day, okay, you must bite onto something. Right? So that is the issue of nutrition. Your body demands calories. Your body demands to be fed, for the lack of a better word. Right? So it's something that affects all of us. Okay? And I keep on telling people, your body works like a computer. The basic principle of a computer is something called GICO. Cabbage in, cabbage out. Okay? So when it comes to nutrition, what you take in is exactly what your body will become, or the outlook.
Cabbage in, cabbage out.
Cabbage in, cabbage out. That reminds me of a very famous song when you were in the nursery school about cabbage and how we were complaining that we're eating cabbage every day and we had a bit of milk. Okay, and it's a very famous song around here. So people think malnutrition is that skinny, stunted child in a remote village somewhere in Africa, and they never look at that well-off man with a Range Rover or a V8 cruising in town, and his belly is touching the steering wheel. All those people are in the same WhatsApp group. All the same issues to do with their body metabolism on what they take. Right? So often than not, malnutrition can either be undernutrition, which basically in our context should be what will be referred to as kwashiorkor and marasmus and stunted growth. Okay? Or what will be referred to as obesity or overnutrition in other centers. That means that your body is having too much in terms of fat and weight. Okay? So both of them, none of them is clean. And you said clearly, how will people know that I'm in the city now? And my job, I'm somebody. You've elected me. How will they realize? Okay? And we always joke in our place that you need a place where your tie can actually lie. Your tie should not be going. If you're working in an office, it should not be swinging from side to side. It can actually choke you. So we say you should have a tiny little belly where it can lie, and it should not be sunken into your umbilicus. Having said that, there's a bit of contrast, and both angles actually bring a lot of health problems. Underweight actually brings a lot of stunted growth, developmental problems, there's a direct connection between undernutrition, especially in children, and their cognition, or how the brain develops, how the intellect develops, how the social aspect develops.
Yes.
Okay, that's why you find there's a bit of those issues in underdeveloped areas, underdeveloped countries, because of if you're lacking very key components of a diet, those rare salts and minerals, the magnesium that are supposed to be used in, and vitamins to be used in brain development, you'll have a challenge when it comes to development. There is something very significant called milestones. A child is expected probably to walk at a particular age. A child is expected to speak at a particular age. A child is expected to have certain actions and comprehensions at a particular age. But if you're missing these critical proteins and micronutrients, then the brain doesn't develop. Your body physics doesn't develop. I always tell people, just the way you have that mal-shaped, sorry to say, child, and you're looking at their muscles are wasted, quite a bit of the brain is atrophied. But then we also have another form of undernutrition in children, where the children actually, they're big. They have a big belly, and now that's kwashako. Okay? But whatever they're having is not because of the muscle content, but it's just because of overproliferation. And the stomach is big because their intestines have dilated, because they're not contracting well. So that is it on the issue of on the overnutrition. We're looking at it causes a lot of those non-communicable diseases. It causes your hypertension, your diabetes, your high cholesterol levels, and even quite a number of cancers have been directly attributed to the issue of obesity or overnutrition. And I can shock you, obesity is the leading risk factor for issues for hypertension and diabetes, only rivaled by one thing, smoking. It's world over, according to the World Health Organization. So if you look at the risk factors, so if probably your weight is not checked, and that guy who's doing about 10 sticks of cigarettes in a day, all of you, same train, same risk factors, it can be an issue. All right? And then when you look on the flip side, it has actually been documented it can cause sudden death on its own. You choke on your own weight, something called sleep apnea. You sleep because of the compression of the neck by the neck muscles and the regurgitation back of the chest structures. They can actually press onto your trachea and you'll sleep and probably wake up in eternity.
Wow.
That bad.
Hey, this is... So one of the things that's easier to notice in an adult is obesity. Yeah, you know, the one who sits in the car, every time you pull the brakes, the horn goes because the stomach has pressed it. But undernutrition is it also a thing you might find in adults?
Yes.
So like, you know, the way we have a culture of, at this time I eat mandazi, chapati, whatever it is. So is that heading in that direction, or are we talking about, is it about quantity or about the actual nutrient, the essential nutrients?
It's actually about quality. And quality, you're looking at two things mainly. Quality, you're looking at the exact type of food you take. Probably most of us here and across Africa, your basic meal will be a starch and probably a vegetable. If you're lucky, a protein is in there. But vegetable will be the most common, right? And also the mode of preparation. Because at times when you prepare these foods, vegetables are good, but you cook them, you overcook them, all right? Carries all the nutrients and all the remaining is fodder. You and that goat that is... Actually, the goat is better than you.
It's better.
Because it's eating raw and picking the nutrients. But for you, you've boiled everything and actually you've poured the soup that could have contained probably, because either you change the compound or you drain it away. Okay? So adult malnutrition in terms of undernutrition is also very, very high. And I keep on telling people, it is not a disease of poverty, undernutrition. You might be malnourished even in the comfort of the leafy suburb because of your eating habit.
Wow.
Okay? You might be undernourished because you find a scenario whereby your body gets used to a particular type of food All right. That for you, your tongue, the tongue is one of the most mischievous organs of the body. It tells you this thing is sweet.
Yeah.
Okay? But at the end of the day, there's no nutritional value to it.
Yeah.
Like a sweet itself. Sweet, the normal sweet we take is sweet, right? A lollipop.
Yeah.
But it has no nutritional value. It's just for the purposes of your taste buds. There's nothing else. So, undernutrition can happen in both the children, very common, but also in adults, and especially that geriatric age. Because you find by the time somebody gets to a certain age, they start having preferences, the appetite goes significantly down, okay? And they have that problem. So you show up at the doctors, you're having swollen feet.
Yes.
We think we check your kidneys, you're fine, we check your liver, it's fine. Yeah. But when you check your proteins, you find probably they're low. And COVID taught us a lot.
It did.
Remember?
Yes.
Because everybody now realizes, vitamin C actually is important. But vitamin C, you don't need to take the tablet. And it doesn't matter if you take a whole sack of vitamin D today.
Yeah.
Your immunity is not boosted instantly.
Yeah.
The vitamin D will come from those tiny little portions you take in your favorite fruit and or vegetable. Yes. So you find that my immunity is good and you are malnourished.
Yeah.
Because your immunity will go down because you're not taking the vitamins.
Yes.
Yes. So it's a bit serious. It's not only the protein. Yeah.
It is quite serious. But there are cultural issues and economic issues or factors in line with that. Because ideally, I have the knowledge. This is what I need in my diet, in my meal. But the reality is I choose whether to shiba, to get full, so that you can sleep through the night with the kids, or I have very small meals because I spent the money on expensive, like trying to get protein, trying to get this, trying to get it balanced. So now, how do we address that? Because that also contributes to that. If I just say, you know what, unga is enough. Big ugali, even if I don't get enough vegetables or a protein, as long as I put something in my stomach, or bread or whatever. So
yep, and you see, I keep on telling people, food is not how expensive it is or the type of food in terms of, I don't know how I can put it, but somebody who has taken a beef steak in a top hotel, paid top dollar for it.
Yes.
And if you go to where I come from, somewhere in Western Kenya, we have some termites that normally come from the what?
Yes.
The earth when it's raining, and we pick those termites. Or if you go to Uganda, Swenene, something is called. Yes.
Even those termites.
Exactly.
Yes.
If that person was it that top dollar steak in a posh hotel, and that person was eating those termites, same thing. Food is culture. Culture.
Yes.
And if you keenly look at, because most people normally ask me, but Dr. how come previously our forefathers didn't have much of these problems when it came to some of these lifestyle diseases associated with that? It's because within the culture, they had also managed to find a way of having different foods representing different nutrients without the scientific knowledge to it. Because they'll notice probably a pregnant lady will be told, let me give you an example. A pregnant lady will be told, don't take too much eggs or don't take too much chicken.
Yeah.
It's because they knew if that lady takes too much chicken,
yeah,
the child becomes big.
Ooh.
All right?
Yeah.
And during delivery,
yes,
she'll have obstructed labor. All right? These guys used to go hunting at least maybe once or twice a week.
Mm.
They have to go with their dogs and look for some protein.
Yes.
And the hunting days was, they say, midweek and end of the weekend.
Yeah.
For the simple reason that they knew that if you take 2 proteins in a day, you are good. So statistically, it's not about the quantity of food you take, because quantity is about a center in your brain called the satiety center. It's one that tells you, are you full?
Yeah.
Or you're not full.
Okay.
All right. But the type of food you take, the preparation is important. Okay. More than the quantity of the food that you take.
Yeah.
Okay. And often than not, we talk about portions. It's a bit difficult to actually control, because most of us eat not to get nutrition, but to make sure that the stomach is not rumbling, and you feel full and you feel fine and you have energy.
And you can work.
Yes, yes.
Okay. It's just a really interesting. We'll come back to a bit more of those. On the MedSquad podcast, of course, we're going to bust some myths because that's what we do. We keep it real for you. So stick around. We'll be right back.
Hey there! Welcome to Zuri Health HQ, where Africa's finest medical minds meet modern care. I'm Yafesi, your host on the Med Squad.
Care is personal. It's not just diagnosis, it's direction. From a cough to managing chronic illness, we listen and we lead.
Every symptom has a story. We listen, explain, and act together.
Nutrition is not just about food. It's fuel, it's healing, it's prevention. We help you eat with purpose, for energy, for recovery, and for lifelong health.
We are not just lab coats, we are detectives, and your blood speaks when we translate.
Your mental health is not a luxury. It's your health, period. Whether it's trauma, depression, anxiety, or even wanting to speak to someone, we are here for you.
At Zuri Health, collaboration is our strongest prescription. We connect expertise across Africa to deliver care that is smart, affordable, and people first.
This is the Med Squad. Real conversations, real health, real people. From your inbox to your bedside, we're with you.
Welcome back to the MedSquad podcast as we look at nutrition disorders, which are not to be confused with eating disorders. Am I right?
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a whole different.
It's a whole, eating disorders are psychiatric.
Yeah.
Nutritional disorders are physiological.
Aha.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
That makes sense. Because now here we have myths and misconceptions that show up regarding nutrition. And one of them, of course, big belly means wealth and health.
Wow. It's so common that at times it's really disturbing.
Yeah.
For the simple reason that as a person, okay, and I think if you understand a bit of issues to do with nutrition and weight, there's something called a BMI. A BMI is we check your height,
Yes.
of course, versus your weight.
Yeah.
We do a calculative index, and we expect you to be between 18 and 25. If you're below 18, underweight. If you're above 25, you go into the classes, class 1, 2, 3, 4, and then morbidly obese, right? So a big belly does not necessarily mean you're okay, you're fine.
Yeah.
And most people normally ask me, why is it that the first place that gets some weight is normally your belly? Because naturally, fats have no significant role in your body metabolism compared to carbohydrates and compared to proteins. Okay? So they are normally taken to areas that have no function. So for men, in front.
Yes.
For ladies, occasionally,
Somewhere.
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 Okay?
Yeah.
Or they'll go to your arms, areas that actually don't do a lot of, that are normally inactive or innate in terms of their function.
Yeah.
That's where they'll be deposited. Or some of them actually will cross over directly into your bloodstream and they do not function.
Yeah.
Fats are normally the last component of your body to be metabolized when probably you are starving. So the carbohydrates will go, the body will come for the proteins, and eventually it will go for your what? For the fats, because fats are a bit more difficult to metabolize and to produce energy from them.
Yeah.
Carbohydrates are the easiest.
Yes.
All right. So often than not, that process, you'll find that most people will have it around the belly because that's where the fat goes. You don't use our belly for anything. And it also goes to other areas. So it's not equal to wealth. I'm not saying anybody who's wealthy. It's not. I also wish to have a little more money. Okay. But the tummy, it becomes a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
Then secondly, there is factors and probably somebody will ask, why is it that that will happen? It's because you'll find some people who have money. I'm not saying everyone. These are people who have what is called a sedentary lifestyle.
Yeah.
Because you're chasing the green pepper.
Yeah.
Okay. And you forget about exercise. You forget about healthy eating habits.
Yes.
Okay. You're driving to your office and back, office and back, office and back. Probably that's a loose association of wealth
Yeah.
and a bit of weight.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to buy, in fact, that steak you mentioned in the high end, I remember it. It's 14,000.
14,000.
Australian something beef, 100 grams of it. 14,000 shillings. One serving. But now, when it comes to this belly fat or weight, there's a myth or a misconception that says if a child looks chubby, they're fine because it's baby fat. When they grow up, it will go.
Actually, and you'll check the statistics, and anybody watching us should check the statistics. One of the most alarming things that we're having is what you call the childhood obesity. It's becoming crazy.
Yeah.
And childhood obesity is whereby you're finding that this particular child, two things. One, of course, you have things like kwashiorkor, you might get a bit chubby because of the issues that I've explained earlier. But a chubby child is not equal to a healthy child. And if you go to certain countries like China, they have started having the issue of exercise being a key component of the curriculum to just try and get away from the issue of technology. Because nowadays, you find when you are growing up, I think we actually used to be caned when you go back home because you've played too much football, okay, during the day.
Yes.
But nowadays, what happens when a child shows up? Of course, in the morning, you give them a bit of sausages, you pack for them some good food because that is what they are, a lot of junk. That's what they want to take.
Yeah.
Okay? That's why they feel comfortable taking. When they finish school, what happens is they finish the homework, the boys are on the PS, the girl is on her tablet, probably the young ones are watching the television, if you're lucky. Okay? So at the end of the day, that sedentary lifestyle is becoming a big problem.
Yeah.
Not even the young, young, we are talking about teens, in the junior population.
Yes.
We're talking about children who are less than 10 years of age. Okay? Coming in with what really seems to be overweight, and it really affects their cognition. And I don't need to say this, but we know issue of bullying now comes in very significantly, and it affects their mental health because they're bullied by others because of the weight. The issue of growth. Remember, your bones are growing, but if you're putting too much weight on the what? On the bones, they don't stretch very well. And once they don't stretch very well, you find these children will eventually have issues to do with bone development. They'll have spine issues early in life, okay? Because the curvature of the spine becomes a problem.
Yeah.
So, if there's a parent listening to us, that pizza is good, all right? But kindly make it maybe once a month. After that good, nice child service, once a month. Okay? If they really want to take those sugary things, blend them give them some milk components. It assists them. But the normal 4 or 5 hamburgers in a day.
Hey, those ones, wow. So then obviously that answers or dispels the myth that obesity is a Western problem and not ours. But now to directly address, there's the undernutrition, where they say it only happens in rural areas. When you mentioned the cognitive function being affected, one of the things that came to mind was how we like celebrating at the end of the national exams. Schools, this school performed well, these students, and then there's almost always a focus on areas where there's hardship or they're prone to famine or drought, and the performance of the schools there is almost always low. So is this the basis for that misconception that undernutrition only happens in either rural areas or those far-flung regions?
Yes and no. Okay? Yes, for the simple reason that you'll find some of those areas will also be disadvantaged in terms of climate. You can't grow a lot of what will be considered as staple food. The animals there will not do better. Issues to do with the water and sanitation also becomes a problem. Okay, and water is what? Water is life both for humans and the flora and the fauna. Okay, so that is one component. But at the end of the day, remember, there's a difference between you can eat and still be malnourished, but at times you just don't have the food at all. You don't have it. And that is what you routinely see, a combination of food that is not nutritious, plus the food not being there, being in some of these areas. Okay? Because they're disadvantaged from a point of so many other factors. Right? So, and also the preparation becomes a what? Becomes a problem. You find the sanitation is not good. So these children will pick up a lot of those intestinal worms. Now, you have little food,
Yes.
little nutrients, but you have almost another 100 people in quotes, roundworms,
resources,
fighting for the same meal that you've taken. How much will get to your brain? How much will get to your muscle? So it's like a multiplicity of both environmental, economic, and social factors that now make these children in rural areas be more vulnerable to the issues of malnutrition compared to the urban areas or the slightly more developed areas, where as much as we might have a challenge in that aspect of what? Of the content of what they take, but probably these children will not be having the parasites, the nematodes, so it will not, even if they take something little that is nutritious, probably it gets to the what? To their body, to the brain, it's absorbed in the system. Because there are very select nutrients that assist in development. And remember, I think you know the structure of the heart. You know the heart is a muscle. So at times, even the heart itself gets wasted or gets very malnourished. So it can't pump blood. So you're now having fewer blood to your lungs, you're having fewer blood to your brain, and it's a whole vicious cycle of unfortunate events that couple to give our fellow colleagues in just because of region. They are more prone to these problems.
Now, speaking of heart health, I guess sometimes there are people who claim diets that work. So one of the myths or statements that's made, solutions from outside always work, whether it's in form of diets or programs where, like, say, intermittent fasting or eat only this, eat only that. Is that true when we're dealing with nutrition or undernutrition?
I think at the end of the day, I go with what the general medical accepted protocols are. All right? I don't fault anyone, by the way, for picking any regime. It works for you if a whole bunch of assorted, blended cucumbers, carrots, and funny leaves work for you. I'll not be an authority on that. But generally, and it's acceptable. I said earlier, it's kigo, cabbage in, cabbage out. Okay. The issues to do with nutrition or food is just about the type, the quantity, and the quality. The type. Is it a carbohydrate? Do you need carbohydrates? Do you need proteins? Do you need vitamins? Those are the major ones. And the minerals in between. Okay. Number two, that's type. Number two, it is a quantity. It's a portions. It's what is acceptable in terms of, don't take 10 eggs. Eggs are good. But if you 10 eggs a day, surely. Even in your own mind, you are sure you're going overboard, right? So the quantity is key. And now the quality, how do you prepare it? Yes, you're taking vegetables, but you're putting a whole can of oil in the vegetable. Of course, it will bring in the issues to do with what? Cholesterol. So those are the cardinal rules of any diet. We used to talk about balanced diet. Yes, you are balancing it, but how are you preparing your food? The quality, is it safe? Okay? Because you're saying, of course, I'm eating, I have a bit of ugali, which is starch, a bit of meat, which is protein, and probably I'll take a fruit. But now the fruit has been washed by dirty water. All right? So what do you end up with? You end up having amoeba and those things. So those are the three cardinal issues. So the aspect of having the various regimes and the various protocols that people are coming up with, don't take carbs, of course. We always say when you're going to sleep, reduce your carbs, all right? Because who will burn them and just snoring, all right? Who will burn them and just snoring? Your body will store more, okay? In the morning, we say, at lunch, you say, unless you're active, take a light what? A light lunch and all that. At the end of the day, whichever regimen you take, ensure it is balanced in three areas. The type of what you're taking, the quantity, and the quality in terms of preparation and sanitation. That's it. And then the rest, we leave it to the guys who exercise.
Yeah.
If it's now too much, now start burning it out.
Yes.
Because let me tell you something. There's some people, by your own gene, you are predisposed to probably having a certain body type, which at times it's obese or too lean.
Yeah.
Just by your gene type.
Yes.
Okay, your inheritance. So it will, and it's true. People will come to me and tell me, Daktari, it doesn't matter how much I eat. Even if I reduce, I still gain weight. For instance, the ladies who have just delivered, some of them will gain weight automatically because of what? Hormones.
Yeah.
So that diet won't help. Now you go to the side of what? Exercise and body activity. That will try and burn it out. Wow. Yes.
I told you we're keeping it real. Now we'll be coming back and talking about global guidelines. Yes, they are there. But what's the reality here? On the MedSquad Podcast. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the MedSquad Podcast as we discuss nutrition disorders with Dr. Ayodi, who is putting us in our place, because some of us, we eat the food and then we just do bad things to it. But we want to actually talk about some of the global guidelines so that at least even on a larger scale or in a broader picture, we know the context in which we're operating and we try to adhere to it or not. So there are the global guidelines for severe malnutrition. What the World Health Organization either defines as severe malnutrition or the standard they set. But what's the reality compared to the global guidelines? Or are the guidelines based on what the reality is here? Or do they just set standard for the world and then we are like, hi please.
Hi please, here we are.
Yeah.
Yes, so the global standards when it comes, the protocols are very clear. And malnutrition, nowadays it has either to be overnutrition or undernutrition. Undernutrition, it's either you have two things. You have marasmus, which is just total caloric deficiency, okay, plus the minerals and everything else. Or you have what is called FEM, protein energy malnutrition, kwashiorkor, okay, which apart from the other micronutrients, the major component you're lacking is the issue of the proteins in the body. So that is the first categorization. And there are various levels ranging from mild to severe, but just splitting hairs for the layman. That's for us doctors, especially when it comes to treatment.
Yes.
We find, especially for undernutrition, we can't lump you with certain foods because you come in, you have kwashiorkor, we just tell you, can you grab every protein you have? Because if you also take it that way, it can actually be disastrous and it can be fatal.
Yes.
For sure. So for us, you'll normally now split the hairs to be able to see which grade you are in. And it's basically will assist us in the treatment. How do we treat? How do we progress with this particular patient? Okay. Now for overnutrition, you just use two basic things. Either we use your BMI, weight, height, and you get an index, or we use your abdominal circumference. Okay. Your abdominal girth. And actually it has been shown abdominal obesity or truncal obesity is more disastrous than generalized obesity. So it's either we measure your trunk and see in inches, and it varies from men and women. Okay. And people have tried to put in regions, okay, saying that if you come from maybe Asia, if you come from Africa, this is the normal girth, but it's splitting hairs generally. But those protocols are there in terms of classification that will now routinely inform what are some of the interventions we'll put in place for you. But if somebody is listening to us today, basically just know either undernourished or you are overnourished. If you're undernourished, it's either you have general insufficiency, okay, or you are specifically having protein and a few other micronutrients that will give you the marasmus or kwashiorkor.
So now, where were you when we were learning these things? You know, you're given 12 marks, you only get 2. But are there, in terms of frameworks, are there frameworks rather for obesity prevention?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes. For obesity prevention, I always tell people, it still goes back to the basic normal thing that we'll do. Okay? The issue of reducing intake, all right, in terms of especially those high-calorie products. Unfortunately, they are our favorites.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Some people will say, I've worked so long for me to eat as a rabbit. No. So you'll actually want to enjoy your steak.
Yes.
And actually say, give me the one that has what? Has a lot of fat. So the issue of one, the diet, of what to take, the diet has to be limited. There's still a debate about raw animal fat. Is it better than your processed what? Your processed plant fat?
Yeah.
Not really. That's you'll find some people somewhere cooking with raw pig fat saying that it is better. Not quite. And I keep on insisting, there's no fat that is purely cholesterol what? Free. The content goes down significantly.
Yes.
But free at 0%, I want to be challenged on that one. So that aspect of obesity, just basically look at reduce your fat, reduce your starch intake, and increase the activity. Now, for activity, I know probably people have different regimens. If you can join a gym, well and good. But medical physical activity, we normally describe it as being adequate and constant. What do you mean by adequate? If you decide to run 2 kilometers or 3 kilometers a day for 3 days in a week, and you're doing that every single week, that's adequate and constant. It's not like if you decide to run today, you run 100 kilometers or 40 kilometers, then again after 1 month, that they're cumulative. No, because your body goes through what is called classical conditioning. When you start exercising, your heart rate starts going down and your body metabolism starts improving and you burn more fat. So I keep on telling people, if you can join a gym for activity, well and good. But a simple brisk walk from your office block to where you pick your bus, to where you've parked your car, to going to the supermarket is enough if it is constant. Adequate, of course, if you walk for 500 meters, that's not adequate. Okay? It has to, something that will give you a bit of cardio, and cardio will say your heart becomes a bit more rapid than normal. Okay? And you start feeling a bit of strain on your heart. But remember, once you're walking for like 2 kilometers, after maybe 6 months, that will be routine for your body. So increase it by a certain figure, okay, and make it constant. If you do it once a week, well and good, but make it adequate and constant. It doesn't have to be, you're not an athlete. Okay? Adequate and constant is enough for us.
All right. And now, we could leave it to individuals. We could leave it to families or schools. Are there, like in Kenya, or maybe even in other countries, are there national nutrition plans? Do they have such, are there such things?
Exactly. There's a whole entire protocol of by World Health Organization that actually stipulates some of this, especially in institutions and areas of association, okay, like schools, what is recommended. But remember, it is very subjective. Because what I eat here probably is not the staple food in a particular country or a particular part. Even in the same country, even the same region. What you consider as a delicacy might actually be a taboo on the other side. Okay? So what we normally do is normally what is called caloric intake. There's a recommendation of caloric intake. That's what you see on all products that we eat. By law, it is mandatory for you to declare the caloric content. False or otherwise, there's always a label that tells you what is contained.
Even the false ones.
Even the false ones. You'll find it there. Because once you start calculating calories, it will assist you to have a plan. So if you look at the WHO and the nutritional plans, they're normally very scientific Okay? But for us now, we can break it down to portions. We can tell you probably if you take an eighth of a kilo of well-prepared meat, how many calories do you expect from that? If you get a glass of milk, how many calories? So when a dietitian or a nutritionist is coming up with a plan for you, a nutritional plan, they're able to quantify depending on the widely accepted calorie content of a particular food component.
So now the debate, of course, would be there's calories. Yes, they're the good ones and the bad ones. So how do we distinguish?
How do you think? I think it goes to, I think the heavens, leave it to the heavens for now. Because I keep on telling people, and there's difference between what is declared. Okay, of course, we have standardization bodies that normally regulate. But people being who they are. Okay, I'll want to ensure that probably so that I have an edge over your product, I'll make it with certain contents that I might not reveal to you in the general description that I've put there. So you can find there are some harmful products that you might get from products that you might think might not have it. Maybe I'll tell you the amount of sugar in it. But the truth of the matter is not the content. Unfortunate as it may, we are in a generally capitalistic world, and those things do happen.
The number of things you've seen, these proteins, 0 grams. Like, why did you list them? There's something you're hiding. So then, in terms of community interventions, what do we do at community level? And also, how do we encourage, or what strategies are in place for behavior change?
Now, for community strategy is very basic. I think I'm a proponent of good agricultural practice because almost 99% of what we eat is what God gave us on earth. What you get from the soil. Even the cows we eat, they still take the what? You remember that thing that used to be in science, the food chain? Right? Everything ends up on the ground. That is where everything comes from. So a good practice, let's empower communities to have good agricultural practice to first of all be able to produce enough food. That's the beginning point. Let's have enough at the level of what? Production. Number two, let's improve the practices because the world is changing very fast. We have a lot of good and bad technologies that are coming that will not guarantee whatever you are producing from the ground is natural. All right? But let's empower them to have good practice in terms of production so that they can produce quality. Okay? Then from there, let's empower the communities economically because there's what you can grow, but there's what you need to purchase. Okay? From elsewhere. So once you have those two aspects at the community level, then we need to have mass education and sensitization and empowerment about our meals. I keep joking when I go to my village, the one thing that I must come back with is maize. That people will bring me. I'm wondering why they're not giving me goats and a place when in Western Kenya, when somebody visits you, you must send them with two things. Chicken, a live one, not a slaughtered one. And some maize of some kind. Is to tell them, I've guaranteed you your next what? Meal. Okay? So let's really sensitize our people because that is normally taken to be a generally acceptable meal when you have a protein there and probably you have some ugali. So my suggestion will generally be, let's sensitize the people, especially pregnant mothers, because nutrition starts from, we start getting it right or wrong, right from conception. Some children are actually born malnourished, something called like microsomia. They actually, or some will even be born with what? Protein, energy, malnutrition, because of what their mother took. Let's sensitize people, and it can be localized so much so that they understand. Let's not print these words of calories to them. Let's talk to them about, give them the name of that local vegetable they need to take in their local language. Don't tell them green leafy vegetable. Mention it. Mention the name. Okay? Tell them Murenda, it'll give you this. Mention it. So that is important at the local level. And then also let's empower them with sanitation, because it's a big component. Malnutrition, especially in the young people or children, is actually brought about by poor sanitation that normally brings about parasites, especially the helminths, which are normally the worms. And then also the issue of deworming is very critical. and the issue of supplementation. And supplementation, there's a rare vitamin called vitamin A that is very critical for the development of so many things, including eyesight, right? So we should be able to also supplement and provide for them the supplementation. And then, of course, there's a God-given sun.
Yes.
Vitamin D.
Vitamin D.
Let's air our children as we are airing our clothes in the morning so that they don't get malnutrition, diseases of malnutrition like crickets, and so on and so forth.
They go outside and play.
They should go outside and play.
Yeah.
Yep.
All
I
right.
agree.
Hey, we were getting deep. I didn't even think we'd go this deep, but it's the MedSquad Podcast, and we do that. Sometimes we do unexpected bits of information that you need and I need. When we come back, we'll be landing this plane. Stick around. Welcome back. This is the MedSquad Podcast. As we've been talking about nutrition disorders, you might be thinking, aye, this is a lot. Now I eat this, it's wrong. Now, well, maybe you can even switch the tone a bit. Possibly could give some, either a child malnutrition story or an adult obesity story, or flip them, that had a positive outcome in the end. Yeah.
Yep. So I think for malnutrition for children, I'll always say it's a very interesting plane. If you get this child with marasmus and you meet them every day, when they come to you, probably they're normally very, and you've seen there's that American, I think there's an American tourist or something. There's that famous photo where I met a very malnourished child and they were giving them some water, and there was a vulture in the background.
In the background, yeah.
So the vulture was waiting for that child to do what? To die. Yeah. And of course it carries it away. After some time, that tourist or that humanitarian worker gave that child the water. And now the child is doing extremely well, doing extremely fine. And I think it's a story that it's normally talked about so much. So I think generally most of us, at times, all a person will need is the right food, the right quantity, the right quality, at the right time. And often than not, we take it for granted about what food is to us. They say water is life and food is medicine.
Okay.
Every time you take that piece of ugali, every time you take that meat, ask yourself, am I taking in poison or am I taking in a drug that will help my body to see the next day? Too much of everything, of something, can be harmful. We all wish to be taking those mouth-watering food. But just please recollect and understand that at the end of the day, it is not about that juicy, very sugary milkshake that you're taking. The sugar in it might actually be harming your kidneys. Right? For those of us who probably are in my take home will be those of us who are in positions of influence across the continent. Every time you take a meal in the comfort of your home, and probably you leave a bill on the plate, just remember there's somebody somewhere, not for a day, not for 2 days, not for 3 days, probably a week. They have been living on wild fruits that don't assist them. Let us ensure that as we make advocacy around the aspects of any other disease, including infectious diseases, non-communicable disease, we make enough advocacy around our disadvantaged population that their only problem was they were born somewhere where me and you were not born, and they don't have that meal. Lastly, for those of us who are a bit well off, let's make our bodies just the same way we treat our cars. Will you want 50 people in your vehicle? Will you want 10 people sitting in your car that is carrying 5 people? You will not want. So you will not want more kilos on your spine. You will not want more kilos on your heart. If for whatever reason you are a bit of overweight, try and do something. And I always tell my patients, I'm a police officer. Even if you come in with a headache, I can tell you for free. If you come in with a headache, or probably you come in with pneumonia, but when I do your BMI, it is high, you'll be my friend. We'll have to bring it down. Thank you so much. Let's make it happen. Let's live nutritiously and enjoy. But a good meal is not a bad thing. Where I come from, actually eating is a hobby in Western Kenya.
It's an identity.
It's an identity. When you talk about Western Kenya, you have to put ugali in the same line. So
the time we were told, we were introduced, we were shown a whole buffet. Rice, potatoes, chapatis, and then they said, and here's food.
And here's food.
The ugali is the one that's food.
So it's a good thing. And just make sure that it's the right quantity, quality, type, and you'll be good to go. You live for the many years God will have put you on this earth.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Hey, courtesy of people like Dr. Ayodi, hopefully those years will be not just fruitful, but also help with your cognitive, functions, so that you can actually contribute to more of helping people in rural areas and less privileged than you. You have a meal, that's a privilege. But try and be good with that. Quality, quantity, and time. Type, quantity, quality. Food. Remember that. And on the MedSquad podcast, any information you receive worth remembering is worth sharing. Follow us on @the_MedSquad_pod. That's our handle, @the_MedSquad_pod. And of course, the MedSquad podcast is powered by Zuri Health. We'll see you next time.